Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Posh Cat Eyes Unfiltered, and welcome back to yet another commentary on My Mom, Your Dad. It's a new reality series for middle-aged single parents who are, they've tried so hard to find love on the outside world, but decided, okay, we're gonna take one last dig in and find love on a dating show. I'm going to be running a commentary on the week that was. So join me as we dig right in. Now, if you've missed out on all of the first two episodes of the commentary that I ran on here, please catch up on that. It's on my playlist, or on the playlist, My Mom, Your Dad. Episode 3, actually, I am tagging episode 3, Meltdown Central, and you're gonna see why. Episode 3 kicked off with the ladies waking up to a brand new day with Ro, the new single male contestant on the show. Now Ro roared his way into the house with all of this charm and swag. The women were sort of mesmerized and hypnotized, but that did not last long. They woke up, like literally woke up from the hypnotism that was Ro, and they literally just like, well, we're not feeling this guy, we're just gonna keep on stepping. Ro, I don't think he knew this or probably figured it out, but he just kept on his gentlemanly, smooth, charmy self, and was just digging right along, getting to know Petula. Petula was a little bit interested, but I think we got to find out that there was something that was like a P for her that Ro was about, and that did not sit down well with her at all. Now, Meltdown Central number 1. Let's cue that in. I'm talking this Meltdown Central, and it was just a highlight for episode 3 for me. Let's keep things kicked right off with Mel. Now, Mel, they had a tax, right? And this tax was held by a intimacy workshop expert, and she wanted to know, what romance meant for each of the house single parents or single whatever. Anyway, Ro said once you touch him, he literally wants to get into base 2 or get second base straight away. He just touch him and he's ready to go. I think that ticked Petula off, because in the conversation they had later on, she said that for me is a no, it's a turn off. You don't put all that pressure just because I want to cuddle you, I want to feel your skin, I want to touch you, I want to give you a massage, and all of a sudden you're ready to step into the bedroom. That's not me, and no. And that was the message that Ro needed to move on, basically. It got to Mel's turn. Apparently, as we all know, Christy, there's a love triangle in the house, so Christy has already sort of sunk her claws into Shane, and they were already getting their groove on. And Shane and Christy had a chocolate session with the intimacy workshop, and Mel watched the whole thing. She wasn't really feeling it. She got really emotional, and when it got to her turn to play the emotional whatever love, again, we all know she is in drought season when it comes to her you know what that is. When it comes to everything about intimacy, her dating life, she is in drought, guys. And so she burst into tears. She walked out of the scene, and literally was unconsolable. And for me, I felt the fact that she saw Christy and Shane kiss was part of the reason why she had all of that emotional meltdown. So for me, Mel, you need to bring it in, pull yourself together. You are not a young woman, and you're supposed to have your emotions under control. Yeah, we know you've been through a lot. Like, you've been given another opportunity to have a go at love, and just take it without all these emotional dramas, I would say. Anyway, let's get down to Meltdown Central number 2. Now, we all know Meret. Okay, Meret, she is the lady 51 now that has been struggling to make a connection with any of the single dads in the house or in the retreat. She is literally not even giving it any opportunity at all. We know Heath has been trying really hard just to have to get to know her on a platonic level, and she is not vibing at all, not even giving this guy the time of day. But he kept on trying. This time Keith was like, I've had enough, tell me, where are you at? Do you see anything? Do you see us going anywhere with this? And she was like, she literally had a breakdown just to explain she wasn't feeling him. I'm like, what is this girl? What is this lady? Just move it along. We don't need this. Yeah, you're not interested, you're not feeling him. Just let him know. You don't necessarily need to cry me a river or have a breakdown that you don't know how to express that you don't want him. We can see that you're not interested. That is, for me, I'm taking it as a meltdown because it wasn't necessary, but she had to again show that she was extra. Cue in the biggest meltdown of the night, because this was literally the highlight. But before then, we check in with the relationship consultant, which are the kids. They have been given a task to, the task involved them having to guess a few things about what's happening. I think when it comes to it was the 70s and 80s question scene, and so they had to guess a few of the 70s and 80s artists. Now get familiar, these kids are very young. They're like they are literally Gen Z, so they have no clue as to what happened in the 70s or in the 80s, but they did give it a red hot crack. And Sam and Kayla, Shane's dad, and Mel's son, Shane's daughter and Mel's son came out tops again, and this time they had the opportunity of actually going into the house to having a meet and greet with their parents, which was crucial for Mel and for Shane, because Shane, as you all know, says that he needs his daughter input before he can actually decide on who to date. So first up was Shane and Kayla, and Kayla was like, have you met someone? Have you made any connections? Of course, she knew exactly what's happening. Shane did say, yeah, I've met someone, and you can guess the color of her hair. She's blonde and stuff like that. That along that he felt like comfortable enough to share with the daughter that he's making good connections and he wants to see where this will go. And on the other hand, Mel was like, well, I haven't really made any connection. I was telling Shane, she was about to cry again. I'm like, oh, I'm tired of these tears now. But then Sam was like, you know what? You're here to give this a go. You're here to get out of your comfort zone. And that in itself is an achievement. Just enjoy your time. That was a good advice from Mel's son, I would say that. And so as soon as Shane got back to the retreat or the mansion or wherever, it was evident that Christy was already itchy and dying to know what transpired on his date with his daughter. Again, for me, I would say this: Christy's meltdown, which is the meltdown of the night, was actually induced with alcohol. She loves her liquor. Okay, I'm not saying she's a drunk, but I am just saying that she loves her liquor. In all of the scenes that I've seen her on, there has been an alcohol, there's been a glass, there's been something close by. So I just felt, for me, this meltdown was literally alcohol induced. It was like an alcohol cry for help. Shane said, my daughter asked me about who I've made connections with, and I said I've made connections with you, and I actually described you with the color of your hair, which is my type. Chrissy saw red. So that's the only thing you could think of for me when you tell your daughter that I have blonde hair. That is not good enough. Literally, you should have told your daughter that you know me from wherever. You can give her my bio, my stats even. She literally got upset. She was screaming the house down. Shane was embarrassed, and Shane was like, I can't handle this, walked off. Everyone was trying to, tell her, mate, you're way over your head with this thing. Calm down. Why are you thinking too much? Why are you trying to analyze things that, isn't? Calm down, lady. She refused. She went on. I think to the point where it got to they had to introduce of course, I didn't say this. A new single mom was about to come into the house, guys. But then, they usually gather for like a dinner-like session where they go in and just sit down, have a few cocktails, waiting for the announcement or waiting for someone to come in. And Chrissy was like, just killing the vibe. She literally killed the vibe for the night. And anyway, that did not end. I mean, this season, episode 3 ended with those two not talking to each other. We saw him trying again his best role now is to play middleman here. He literally was now the therapist that we needed, we didn't know we needed on the show. He was trying to tell her, you need to calm down, you're overthinking things, just go sleep your alcohol off. You might feel better in the morning and go and apologize to this man, otherwise they're gonna push him away and he's gonna run for the hills. In walks Carol. Carol is a vivacious Lebanese woman with a daughter as beautiful as her, and she is a firecracker. All I know is she likes the vibrators. She told us that much. As soon as she got in, her eyes were set on roll. It was like, I like you. I like you. I like what you're about. Come to me, daddy. It was so fun. They had the introduction. The chemistry was bang on, and so they kicked off the night with all of the flirtatiousness that they had to go. It ended up in a jacuzzi, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. It did. So let's get on to see how this is. In fact, episode 3, season 1 is off to a good start, and episode 3 was just more like a highlight for what was to come. In episode 4, we saw the exit of Merit, okay, and 2 new single parents walking into the show. So I'm tagging this the rock star main event, okay. Episode 4 kicked off with the ladies again waking up. We saw Christy, obviously now sober, realizing what she did, and went on an apology spree and decided she was going to take matters into her hands because the relationship consultant were not coming through for her in setting her up for a date with Shane. So she did the legwork, got on a mini boat and set it all off and took Shane on a wine picnic by the shore, and she did apologize for her behavior. Shane sort of likes her and gave her a pass. They had their first kiss on the spot. It was really picturesque. So I'm saying, let's see how this pans out. Petula and Darren, they got to go on their first date. This was initiated by the relationship consultant and the kids. Darren's daughter won a challenger, and then she wanted the dad to go on this date, and so it happened. I set them up, but it didn't go as we would expect. It was very platonic. They felt very friendly and familiar towards each other. There was just nothing romantic, even though the scene was like a spa kind of scene with the kids. Again, going in there to try and act as fake masseuse to massage their head. It was so funny. I just couldn't stop laughing. And I don't think they had any idea that the kids actually did the massaging at some point during the whole massage session. But again, it ended with a very lukewarm attitude for me because there was just nothing romantic connecting these two. They seem more like mates than lovers who are interested in each other. In fact, they are too familiar for my liking. And then we cue into Ro and Carol, who are already getting very, very cozy, warm and cozy with each other. They're getting along very well. The contestant, however, had to what did they do this time? They had a challenge, ice bucket challenge, where they had to guess the photos, the younger photos of their parents, and the winner then gets to decide who was going to leave for that night. A few of the kids give it a red hot crack. I would say they gave it a red hot crack. In the end, Sashim Rose's son won, and he was conflicted. Yeah, he was happy he won, though that meant his dad was safe for the night. But again, he had the decision to send one person home. But before he could make that decision, they were given the opportunity to meet the new entrants into the retreat. And what first off was Tim, a drummer for a famous rock band, and he was nominated by his son, cute boy. According to him, he's been searching for love in the wrong place. Now he's on a relative show to give it a red hot crack. Well, Tim walked in. Again, they were having dinner, so it was easy for him to just ease himself in, and there was no pressure to be a little bit dramatic. Yeah, he sat down close to Mel, who was single because the the single people in the house had already arranged that. Well, we're gonna try and get you guys hooked up with these two people coming in now. Next up was a British Scottish like flight attendant. You know, that's her there, beautiful. She walked in, you know, va va voom, and soon heat was all he was on heat. Heat was on heat. She sat close to Heat, and you know, they started trying to get to know each other. She seemed a little bit interested, but I think the other single folks in the retreat posted too. They were like too full on. You know, yeah, we know Heat is still available, but they oversold it. They oversold him to her, and so she was like, if he's this good, why haven't you guys taken him? Why leave him for me? So I feel that is exactly what has prevented her to be nice to Heath, get to know him, but at the same time, I don't think she was ready to just lean on Heath. She was probably Chick has got plans, and she's ready for her plans. Merit was eventually revealed that, you know what, Chick, you are gone. Like, we were so tired. You know, you're not bringing anything into the plate. You're not bringing anything to the show. You're not interested in anyone. You're not exactly actively doing anything. You know what? Your time is up. And we saw her exit episode 4. She went home. For me, it was really about time, because there was just nothing. She was just lifeless. She was existing on the show but not bringing anything. Sorry, I'm a little bit harsh, but I'm just saying as it is. Like, you're here to find love. Yes, you have not made a connection, but give it a go. Show interest. Not push everyone and everything and every attempt at trying to find someone. Mel, that we know has literally is about to build a construction industry, given how closed off she is, you know, in terms of the love, whatever intimacy department, is even managing to give it a shot. She formed a connection or trying to form a conversation or get conversation going with him. We'll see how that all plays out on episode 5. Now, episode 5, this is the end, last episode for the week, did not leave anything to be desired. To be honest, there was no wow factor. It did not ignite drama to create interest to want to see this show again. But that's just my opinion. I do not know about you viewers, but I would give you a few talking points from episode 5. Now, we saw Merit leaving the show episode 4, and this was literally the only drama that actually crowned episode 5 for me. You know, she was sad about it. Well, too bad. You didn't make any connection. Time to go. And we saw the camera switch over to the kids' bunker. Here, Merit's daughter, Tanya, literally was having a meltdown. She made snide comments to the other kids. She was literally verbally abusive, in my opinion. And I felt like, we need to get out of there. Like, she's got anger management issues. Someone needs to, you know, get her out of there before she becomes physically abusive to the other kids. She went off who voted for her mom. Your mom, they had no connections. How is that fair if they take someone else that was making connections or actively seeking to make connections on network and keep your boring mom in the show? She actually went on to say, producers, do not film me. I'm like, please don't film this girl. Give her a ride out of there ASAP. Now, Merit did not get to introduce herself to the other kids. Well, fine by me. They needed to get the hell out of there real quick. Now, back to the retreat or the mansion where the single parents were staying. We saw Michelle entering the show from episode 4 last night. And you see her, you know, getting settled in, trying to make pocket of friendship or create networks that would get her to, you know, explore what relationship, if any, for herself. Now, I told you earlier that the contestant or the single parents were trying to push Heath onto her, and she was not having that. Like, I came here, my own person, you're not going to choose for me. If he was that great to you, why don't you guys, you know, go for him? So she decided, okay, I'm going to give everyone a shot. I will network, try and engage in every conversation as much as I can. That saw Petula perturbed. because she took a little bit of an interest, to Darren, and Darren is still singled out until he commits to you. So it was fair game from my perspective. She got talking or chatting with Darren. Petula didn't like the connections that was sort of forming, if any was forming at all. And she was seeing red, literally. She couldn't let go of the alcohol glass that was in her hand because that was literally helping her nurse the green-eyed monster. Yeah, eventually Darren had to clear the air with her, letting her know that, you are safe. Yeah, we're still getting to know each other. And I still have to be open to having conversations with everyone else in the house. You know what? You just need to, not be so pressed about it. Chrissy and Shane, they're going strong. And that is conditional because the clip for next week's episode saw them have a go again. Courtesy Chrissy's insecurity issues. We'll find out next week, I guess. He is feeling a little bit, dude has failed to have his groove on. He has failed to launch. He's experiencing the failure to launch syndrome. For some reason, Michelle is not really feeling him that well, and this got him emotionally. He got emotional, basically. He was sad and was expressing his sadness and feeling that there was something wrong with him, for the sort of rejection. Because dude has actually given it a go. He's giving it a red hot crack with all the other female single parents in the house, and no one has seemed to, take on his expression of interest, so to say. Michelle, I could get fair enough. She wants to see what else is out there before coming back to you, Keith. You already showed you like her. Yes, but I'm going to explore. That's the reason we're here in this retreat. You know what I mean? It's not the outside world where you're going to tell. Yeah, so I felt like Keith was way over his head on this one, but who am I to say? Feelings are feelings, right? The Keith's son was a little bit sad as well, given the fact that his dad, is can't catch a break. This meltdown saw the show producers, having to invite a confidence coach. Now, the confidence coach had to come in and try to, get them to feel more about or regard themselves or improve on their self-esteem. Now, the twist for this confidence coach was the fact that the kids had to, write a word that best described their parents. And hopefully the parents who might, remember those words, that one word, and, see how that helps them going forward in the show. A few of them got something that's rang true to form, and Mel got very emotional because she got the trust thing going for her, which is affecting her, and Tim having to grow into their own or find their space. But she eventually said, okay, I'm going to definitely, let my guard down and trust more. Again, Darren got content or something. Yeah, it showed. Tess wanted to let him know, stop having your wandering eyes everywhere. Just be contented with what you have. I think Petula got a few more, and Keith got something that really, ran true to form for him. And I think that helped him lift his game up. And I think it was confidence again for him. So he was able to have a chat with Michelle, express how he's feeling towards her. And this warmed Michelle up a little bit. No sooner than this, no sooner that this has happened, we saw another male single dad coming to the retreat. His name is Neil. He's 60 years old, nominated by his son. He's an ex-AFL player. This show is a revolving door of single parents. You can't even catch a break. Someone else is coming in. This time he entered the show with a twist. Usually everyone will be in the garden waiting for the next entrant, but this time he was made to sit in the garden whilst having the women to go introduce themselves or go see who was out there. They all piled in sessions and went to see Neil. Petula again literally just said, I'm with Darren. Christy was like, I'm taken. Michelle was the only one that, again, she's still exploring. And so she, again, took a liking to Neil. They had a good chat and came back together holding hands. Keith, again, wasn't really impressed. Well, we can't really blame the guy. Though towards the end of this episode, like I said, there was no wow factor. I'm just going to try and summarize this as quick as I can and just move it along. Game of Truth on there was introduced to the show, and this saw Shane and Chrissy crowned prom king and queen. I don't know why. Well, their love is growing strong. Ro got a dirty talk to Carol, who loved it very much. Again, Carol, the sexual chemistry between these two is really, really strong. Well, Ro got to see a personal side to Carol, which again warmed him up to her. I hope this, translates to something outside of the show. We never know. We shall see. It ends here for this week for me. We'll tune in again next week to see how they go. I am slowly losing interest, but I'm going to try and finish this show because I'm committed to you guys. So until next time, where I come on here and give you some commentary, hot takes, hot topics, and my culture shock whenever I have those. Be safe, guys. See you soon.